and welcome to the Gorean Rant. I'd like to thank the Irish bassist for allowing me to piggyback his IMVU group, the RP Bitching Hour, as a place to um, store, post, and get basic ideas on things for this show. The first thing I'd like to start off with is, well, who the hell am I? I am Sothar, or at least I roleplay as Sothar on IMVU. Sothar is the administrator of the Gorean city of Telidus. Um, I've read the Gorean books off and on for many years. I've only RP'd Gore for about a year or so on IMVU. Um, Hopefully I have a good name. We'll see after this, because I may piss a lot of people off. But oh well, I don't care. It's time we straighten this shit up. Um, First thing we should do is we should start off with what is gore. Gore, according to the books, and that's what counts, is a harsh planet that was moved here by the priest kings that hides behind our sun. Not going to get into what the priest kings are today. Just suffice it to say, Gore is the counter Earth. It's much like Earth, only there's it's almost like it's stuck in King Arthur's days, for example, but without the big tin suits. There are 28, excuse me, soon to be 29 books in the Gore series by John Norman. Um, so you can't exactly read one or two books and expect to know exactly what Gore is all about. A lot of people, on the other hand, think that you can. It may give you a small snapshot of what it's about, but that by no means gives you everything. Um, so the biggest thing I can tell people that want to RP as Gorean is read, 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 read. Do not go out to all these sites and go, ooh, I need to know about the poses and I need to know about the food. Don't do that. You're going to find a lot of poses, a lot of practices, a lot of dances, and a lot of foods, drinks in general, whatever, that are not in the books. That people have simply made up because they think they sound good. That does not fly in a true, by the books, Gorean RP. You will be labeled as what they call Disney and probably booted, if not killed and then booted. Now, a lot of people will come up to me, will come into Telidus even, in furs, in a furry avatar, as a kitty, or a wolf, or sometimes I'll get drow, or some other random creature other than human. That doesn't work. Gore is a closed RP with a closed canon, timeline, and a closed set of races, namely human. That's it. In the books, there are humans, there are the priest kings, there are the spider people, which you don't see very often, and there are the cur, as far as intelligent life goes. You're not going to play a spider person, they're rare. Extremely rare. You're not going to play a Priest King because you're just not. You're not going to find an avatar on IMVU to turn you into a Priest King. I am not going to get into today what a Priest King is. Just suffice it to say, you're not going to be one. The Cur, again, you're not going to be a Cur. I'm not trying to God mod. I'm not trying to say you can't be one, but you're not going to find the things you need on IMVU to be these things. They're just not out there. So, what can you be? You can be human. You can be either free or a slave. If you're free, you're either going to be a master, a mistress, or a jarl. Now, jarls are from Torvald's land. That is the extreme northern Gore. They're like Vikings. Actually, that's pretty much exactly what they are. Vikings that were taken from Earth, dropped on Gore, and let loose. Guess what? You've got somebody from Torvald's land right there. That's exactly what it is. I cannot make this any simpler. Any more simple, excuse me. Now, masters and mistresses. You have castes. You have things like builders, warriors, merchants, slavers, assassins, all these things that you can be. Read the books. Find out what they're about. If they have a code, if they have a list of guidelines for how these people should behave, it will be in the books. So use them. Read the books. For God's sakes, read the books. Find out what you need to know and stay true to it with your character. I don't know how many times I have seen Gorean free women come into a room and do an entrance like a Kajira. Begging entrance from the free. That shit'll get you collared. Before I get to collarings, though, let's deal with the zone aspect. No, before I do that, let's send a shout out to Drizzt. Drizzt is a guy on IMVU who RPs as a drow. He doesn't go in to Gorean rooms. He does not bother Goreans because he knows that Gore is a closed RP. It's closed. There's not going to be drow there. Drow are from the Underdark and Forgotten Realms, not Gore. So please, people, stop going into his rooms and fucking with him. You're a Gorean, not somebody from Forgotten Realms. You're not going to be in the Underdark. In his world, you don't exist, just like he doesn't exist in yours. Okay, now that that little side rant is over, let's get back on topic. Zones. In this whole zone thing is bullshit. It's for pussies. It's a god modding way of saying you can't come into my room and fight. You can't come into my room and kill. You can't come into my room and collar somebody. It's bullshit. You're limiting the RP. You've basically taken away everything that Goreans can do other than sit around, drink paga, maybe some Bozzy tea, or some black wine. There's another thing. Black wine. Guess what, fuckers? Black wine comes from coffee. It is coffee. It's served in little cups like espresso. Drink slowly. It does not come from a bottle. It is not fermented anything. Coffee. Black wine is coffee. Now, because of the zones, I have to mention combat. There are several types of accepted combat in Gore. We have the T1 through T5 systems, which are kind of like old school D&D, meaning one person does an action, the other person responds. There are good and bad ways to do this. I will cover them in another show. There's also the combat ring. With the combat ring, think Final Fantasy meets chess. You actually have an interface where you can add in attributes, blah, blah, blah. And then you have a ring that you can move your person in and do your attacks. Again, I will cover this more in another show. That brings me to collarings. There is no such thing as a forced collar in Gore. Any woman, free or slave, free or Kajira, can be collared. Hell, any man, for that matter, in Gore, can be collared. So long as someone is strong enough to slap that collar on their neck and keep it there. For all of you people bitching about forced collars, stolen Kajira, whatever, it's bullshit. If you want your Kajira back, RP going and getting her. Stop crying in your paga. Man up. Get on your Tarn. Get on your Tharlarian. Whatever. Go get her. Shit happens. Deal with it. Now that rant is over, that brings me to this week's Wall of Shame. Making this week's Wall of Shame, we have the Port City of Shendy. What the hell can I say about Shendy? I used to go in there when I was new to Gore. I like the people, but it's a bad RP. The shit that happens in those rooms is not going to happen in Gore. They are purposely taking themselves outside everything that is Gore. I haven't been there lately, so maybe they're starting to fix it. But they've still got zones. They're God modding. They're telling people what they can and cannot be, what they can and cannot do within this RP. That's bad. That's fucking bad. It's wrong. Don't do it. Please, for the love of God, don't do it. Then we also have the KOT market. I was looking through rooms the other day, saw this market. I don't know what the hell KOT stands for. I'm not going to bother asking. But this market says right in its name, Gorean friendly. Okay, so it's a BDSM room where Goreans can come to instruct, to talk to BDSMers about gore. Okay, not a problem. I don't have a problem with that. That's how people learn. But later on in their room description, it goes on to say, Goreans not welcome. You're contradicting yourself? This is fucking stupid. Guess what? I'm going to steal a line from the Irish bassist. This is what I want you to do. I want you to take this hand here, put it behind your head,